Hello and good day. Welcome to our video channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be a fast, concise overview, Book of Job, chapter 18. Let's get started now. The Book of Job is one of the most interesting books in the Bible because it provides us with a glimpse of God's perspective on the problem of human suffering. Chapter 18 of the Book of Job contains the second speech of Bildad the Shuhite, one of Job's friends who came to console him after his calamities. This chapter presents Bildad's response to Job's previous speech, in which he lamented his misfortunes and complained that he did not deserve such treatment from God. Bildad begins his speech by rebuking Job for his arrogance and for questioning the justice of God. He reminds Job that the wicked will be punished, and that their prosperity is only temporary. Bildad argues that Job's suffering is a clear indication that he has sinned against God, and that he should repent of his sins if he wants to be restored to God's favor. Bildad's speech contains several metaphors and vivid descriptions of the fate of the wicked. He likens the wicked to plants that are uprooted, and to houses that are destroyed by fire. He also speaks of their children being cut off, and of their memory perishing from the earth. Bildad's description of the fate of the wicked is meant to emphasize the seriousness of sin, and to urge Job to repent and turn back to God. However, Bildad's speech is flawed in several ways. First, he assumes that Job's suffering is a direct result of his sin, which is not necessarily the case. As we have seen earlier in the book, God allowed Satan to afflict Job as a test of his faith, not as a punishment for his sins. Second, Bildad's speech is insensitive to Job's emotional state. Job is already in a state of despair, and Bildad's words are unlikely to comfort him. Finally, Bildad's speech is based on a simplistic understanding of God's justice. It is true that the wicked will be punished, but this does not mean that all suffering is a direct result of sin. Job's suffering is a mystery that cannot be fully explained by human reasoning. The lesson that we can learn from this chapter is that we should be careful not to judge others based on simplistic assumptions about God's justice. We should be humble and recognize that we do not have all the answers to life's mysteries. We should also be sensitive to the emotional needs of those who are suffering, and offer them comfort and support instead of rebuke and condemnation. Moreover, we should remember that suffering is not always a direct result of sin. As Jesus himself said, "In this world you will have trouble. But take heart. I have overcome the world." John 16 verse 33. We live in a fallen world, and suffering is a part of the human experience. However, we can take comfort in the fact that God is with us in our suffering, and that He has overcome the world through His Son Jesus Christ. In conclusion, Chapter 18 of the Book of Job teaches us that we should be careful not to judge others based on simplistic assumptions about God's justice. We should be humble, sensitive, and supportive to those who are suffering, recognizing that suffering is a part of the human experience. We should also take comfort in the fact that God is with us in our suffering, and that He has overcome the world through His Son Jesus Christ. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.